But what if we told you, the secret to the trick was always there, hidden in plain sight? When crafting a trick, the reality is always shown to us. It's right there, but our minds are drawn to the spectacle, to the false reality presented by the magician. We're taken in by the narrative, the drama, the apparent magic. We believe in the illusion because it's exciting, it's extraordinary, it defies what we know to be true. But what happens when someone pulls back the curtain? When they expose the trick for what it truly is, a clever deception. This revelation often sparks a phenomenon known as cognitive dissonance. This is the mental discomfort we experience when confronted with a reality that contradicts our deeply held beliefs or perceptions. Cognitive dissonance can lead to strong emotional reactions. We may deny the truth, attack the revealer, or double down on our original belief, all to protect ourselves from the unsettling feeling of having been deceived. The key to navigating cognitive dissonance is understanding. It's about recognizing our emotional reactions, questioning our beliefs, and being open to new information. What if we told you that the very same mechanics of a magic trick apply to the strategies of propagandists and politicians? The magician's trick is a powerful analogy for understanding how certain political narratives and propaganda can influence public perception. Just as the magician shows you the trick's reality subtly while drawing your attention to the spectacle, propagandists and politicians often present a narrative that appeals to our emotions, our biases, creating a false reality while the full truth is revealed and shown in plain sight. This truth is not seen due to the false reality being so brainwashed into the mind. This reveals the power of the trick and the extent of control over perception. This is the ultimate prize for a propagandist. We often accept these narratives because they align with our worldviews or promise a reality we aspire to. The drama, the rhetoric, the carefully crafted messages, these become our truth. But what happens when someone unveils the hidden aspects? When they challenge the narrative and present information that contradicts our held beliefs? As with the magic trick, this is when we experience cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of trying to hold two conflicting realities in our mind. The reality we experience is not the reality that has been falsely constructed around us. The revelation might spark denial, hostility, or even stronger adherence to the initial narrative. This can often create more conflict and trauma in the population, enabling even tighter measures of control to be introduced. Next time you encounter a political narrative or a piece of propaganda, remember the magician's trick. Ask yourself, am I focusing on the spectacle, or am I seeing the whole reality? This idea of focusing attention of public consciousness so that they don't see the reality in front of them is the evolution of an old idea presented in a psychology experiment. This is from a well-known psychology study conducted by Christopher Chabris and Daniel Simons in 1999. This experiment is a study on selective attention and illustrates the phenomenon of inattentional blindness. Participants in the experiment are shown a video of people, some dressed in white and others in black, passing basketballs around. The viewers are asked to count how many times the people in white pass the ball. See if you can count how many times the people dressed in white pass the ball. How many times? Did you notice anything? During the video, a person dressed in a gorilla suit walks into the frame, stands in the middle of the screen, beats their chest, and then walks off frame. Interestingly, about half of the people who watch the video and are focusing on counting the passes fail to notice the gorilla. They are so engrossed in the assigned task that they overlook an unexpected, but clearly visible, event. This happens because of the selective attention they give to the task of counting the ball passes, which makes them oblivious to other visual information, the gorilla, hence the term inattentional blindness. This experiment has become a classic in psychology, demonstrating how our perception of the world around us is influenced by where we direct our attention. It also highlights how we may miss significant events or information when they are unexpected or when we are focused on something else. If you saw the gorilla, did you notice the change of color in the curtains? Inattentional blindness is one of the key motives in creating a spell or a narrative. This is the motor component of our previous hydraulic system analogy in video 4. It often starts out with the intent to distract human attention and energy away from an activity that, if publicized, may be seen as corrupt, create panic or civil unrest. It is also necessary to trigger victim consciousness when crafting a trick in the motor. Victim consciousness provides a liability shield which enables the perpetrators to be forgiven and get away with corruption even if caught, as it is seen as being in self-defense or for the greater good. Victim consciousness can serve as a significant tool for those seeking to control a population, effectively acting as a liability shield in several ways. Deflecting criticism. If a governing entity portrays itself as a victim, often of unfair criticism, foreign interference, or internal conspiracy, it can use this status to deflect criticism and delegitimize opponents. Such portrayal can discourage dissent by making it seem unpatriotic or disloyal. 2. Justifying extreme measures. A state of victimhood can be invoked to justify extreme measures in the name of self-defense or survival. This might include suppressing opposition, limiting freedom of speech, or other civil liberties. The actions, although extreme and potentially harmful, are framed as necessary for protection, making it difficult to hold the governing entity liable. Manipulating emotions. Victimhood can generate empathy and support, potentially leading to a significant portion of the population rallying around the victim authority, even when their actions are questionable. This emotional manipulation can lead to blind support, shielding the authority from liability. Creating us against them narratives. By portraying themselves as victims, authorities can foster an us against them narrative, dividing the population along different lines, such as political, ethnic, or religious. This division can distract from the real issues and can be used to consolidate power and control. Perpetuating the status quo. Finally, the perpetual state of victimhood can lead to a weary population that is less likely to challenge the status quo. The constant state of crisis, real or perceived, can make the population more accepting of the current situation, decreasing the likelihood of demands for change and enabling continued control. The manipulation of victim consciousness for population control highlights the importance of critical thinking and informed citizenry in any society. It's vital to question narratives, seek multiple perspectives, and promote transparency and accountability at all levels of governance. The final ingredient for an effective spell is there needs to be a clear opposing narrative which is based in truth but can be demonized and smeared. This increases human energy and attention as people have a strong sense of justice. A binary conflict becomes easy to define with clear battle lines. This can be easily managed with controlled and manufactured opposition in the release valve to equalize the pressure in the system. This video has looked to define the motor component or the idea, the spark for the creation of the spell, the narrative that drives the system to harvest human emotion. For an effective narrative, trick or spell, the following must be present. 1. Blanket coverage of an event to distract public attention. 2. Heavy levels of victim consciousness to provide a liability shield. An opposing view based in truth to harness feelings of injustice and amplify emotion and cognitive dissonance. An easily definable binary conflict which can be managed and controlled within the system so pressure can be manipulated. In the coming videos we will continue to examine each component in our hydraulic system analogy that is described in video 4. Thank you for watching. If this video provided insight, please like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into the intricate interplay of perception, politics, and truth.